What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another week of Underground F1. Episode of 14, I want to say, I think.
Still don't know our episode numbers. I love it.
No, I do. I just didn't look before this week. I always look, but I did not look. Hold on. Kyle always conveniently... Yeah, 14. Last week was 13. Oh my god, last week was 13 and we talked about the Monaco curse. We didn't even put that together.
Oh, wow, that worked out pretty well then.
Yeah. And the Monaco curse was there, so we'll get into that. But as always, I'm Casey. That is Owen. We're going to go... There's not much weekly news. There was one thing that came out today we'll talk about. But other than that, we're going to review Monaco. Probably the best Monaco Grand Prix. It was a great weekend all around.
I really liked it, yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll go through our predictions for this weekend in Spain. So, but as always, to get started, we will do our meme of the week. Let me remove the... I'll do yours first.
Get the screen share. So, yeah, my meme
Zoom in.
Doesn't... Hold on. Gosh. People can look at my history for a bit if they want. Dropped my elbow off the chair. That hurt. All right. So, my meme of the week comes from the race itself. We're not going back to Formula Dank. Something about this moment right here is just really funny to me because this is obviously lap 11, super early into the race. You got Carlos Sainz chasing Esteban Ocon, coming out of the tunnel and going into the chicane. And Sainz gets on the radio and he's like, let's push him to use his tires. Like, let's race him really hard. He's got to, make a mistake or do something wrong, kind of mess up his tires, or just not have the chance to take care of his tire health and everything. And the first thing he does after that is immediately just runs right into the back of Esteban Ocon.
Oh, yeah. It was like bumper cars.
It's something, it was so funny to me because it was like, hey, guys, let's push him to use his tire, have this really, really good strategy. And then it's just like, nope, let's just fucking ram right into him. And he actually breaks this wing right here that you can see in the camera view, and it is just so funny. So I don't know if this will let me play the video for you guys.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's like,
I don't think I saw that angle. That's good.
They both like cut through the chicane, like chasing that. Look, hops on the radio, just like let's push him to use his tires, and then boom. Right into him. And it's like,
what are you doing, Carlos?
It's like, all right, minuscule damage, whatever. But like, just so funny to me that he's like, guys, let's push him, and then I'm just gonna run right into him. Like something so funny about it. I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense for Ferrari. Like, and you can see it right
Carlos.
There with his front wing is damaged. It's like,
and then they never fixed it. They never fixed his front wing.
No,
I thought they were gonna call him in and fix it, but. I mean, I think that definitely ruined his race. He was a little slower after that moment. But
it was so funny to me. Just something about him saying that and then running right into Esteban Ocon was hilarious to me. So that is my meme of the week.
Okay, let me
get rid of this tab now.
Pretty sure mine. Okay, so mine has to do with Wait, I have to pull up the page. Okay, so obviously we all know how loved Charlotte Leclerc is in Monaco. The two people behind are the prince and princess. And that's what they look like on the podium while the national anthems were playing and they were getting the awards. So obviously now I know. But someone put this with Luigi and I don't know what his name is. Pit stop. Guido, thank you.
It says it right there.
Oh, it does.
Luigi and Guido.
And when they say they only follows Ferrari, so I just thought it was fun. There's no sound, but because they literally look like they're so annoyed that the one person they want on the podium is not there. So that
Luigi only follows Ferraris.
Yes, I mean,
very good scene.
It's a very good scene.
From a very good
I mean, it makes perfect sense because literally they looked so annoyed. I mean, there was another one too. I thought you were going to do it. Did you see the clip? I think it was from a practice or quali. It was like it was a camera shot, but they still had the track up in the corner on the screen. And you know the shape of the Monaco track, right? Okay, can you picture it?
Yeah.
It was in front of, like, there was a guy standing in the corner of the screen, and the track, all you saw was his waist up, and the track was in that exact position.
That's a good one.
I'm surprised you didn't see that one.
That's got to be on Formula Bank somewhere. I didn't even look at the thread this week because I was just like, as soon as that crash happened in the signs, I was like, there's my meme of the week.
You can also use meme of the week when they kept calling Carlos in to box, and then they just kept messing. They kept messing the undercut or like to fake out Esteban Ocon. It wasn't working. But yeah, I thought.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised. When I saw that one, I was like, okay, that's pretty funny.
Oh, you know what? I saw another one. I won't describe it. I won't do the share screen or anything. I'll just describe it. It's more of a text thing, but it deals with Max Verstappen pushing his tires more than he should in terms of tire age. And
yeah.
It says, tires degrading? ? Just say no. Your tires cannot legally degrade without your consent. It's a picture of Max Verstappen just holding his hand up like this, like, stop.
No, because he pushes those damn tires to the limits, man. If it didn't rain, I think if it didn't rain, he could have gone to the end without changing the tires. But we'll get into more of the race recap. There's a lot to recap from the race. There's a lot of specific moments. A
lot of stuff happened.
Weekly news. This literally just came out not that long ago. McLaren has a new hire. No, not a new sponsor. New hire. Starting in 2024. They are getting Rob Marshall from Red Bull. He's been with Red Bull for the past 17 years, and he'll start with McLaren in 2024. So yes, he's going to be joining the team as the McLaren's team technical director, engineering, and design at the start of 2024. So he's coming in with a pretty decent, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, a pretty decent
knowledge
job title. Yeah, knowledge. Yeah. But it says, he's been with Red Bull for past 17 years. Most recently, he was the team's chief engineering officer, a role he was promoted to in 2016. But yeah, obviously that's a pretty decent move for McLaren. Hopefully it helps them.
Yeah, that is good for them. I'm reading the F1.com article now.
I was reading Mark's article.
Yeah, it's with over 25 years of working in motorsport, Rob comes to us with a wealth of expertise and experience elevated by his tenure and track record at Red Bull Racing. And it says, the huge thing, this is obviously why they got him, but it says Marshall was part of the team that created Red Bull's mighty RB19. So anybody who has a working knowledge of how this Red Bull car was developed this year, it would be a huge aid to other teams. Because, if anybody has, a similar budget to Red Bull, they, in theory, then would be able to create a very similar car, which...
look at Aston Martin.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. That's a perfect example. But that could be huge for McLaren. If he comes in,
it could be huge.
Develop a new car kind of based off the RB19, then you would really get the conversation of how good is Lando Norris, how good is Oscar Piastri, because once they finally have that car under them, then it's kind of up to them of, all right, get back in the points, get back up there. And that's cool. That's exciting news.
Yeah, you've already seen hints of what Oscar Piastri can do in an F1 car. That the start from the last race where he was all the way back and literally just drove right up the middle. So people are like, put him in the Red Bull, he'll be driving like Max Verstappen on starts.
Yeah.
He seems Yeah, I mean, we know what Lando Norris can do with the McLaren, but it's the past two McLarens haven't been the greatest. So
not been good for him. No.
I saw. Also, we're gonna go into it, but I saw before I forget. I think the tweet I saw said this was McLaren's first double points in Monaco since like 2006 or something.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
Good for them.
I mean, they were 9th and 10th, so they literally got what 2 and 1 point. Yeah. But yes, also
that is points.
Yeah, it's points. Also, I did see that the drama between Ferrari and how they're trying to poach the two engineers from Red Bull. We talked about it a few weeks ago. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah, kind of.
So apparently Red Bull, I can't find the exact tweet. I have another one pulled up. Apparently Red Bull is like not going to let the guys start their gardening leave or whatever. We discussed that. So Bull or Ferrari's like, we're not giving Laurent Mekies up if we're not getting so-and-so. Like, you're not going to take Laurent Mekies for AlphaTauri and not give us who we want. So that's what I was like, you go, Ferrari. Don't let anyone step over you.
Step up, Ferrari.
But this tweet came out yesterday. So it said the two former Red Bull engineers that were set to join Ferrari have ended their gardening leave today and will begin work shortly. So I think it has worked out, but before I think they weren't going to be letting them leave fully. It says the two are not considered first rate, but their reinforcement is thought invaluable for the 2024 car. One of the engineers is American University professor David George, an aerodynamics engineer who has worked in NASCAR, Indy, and Formula One. And then the second one remains unnamed, but is said to be a former Red Bull aerodynamics engineer. I mean, I saw reports today. Apparently, the 2024 car is already in the wind tunnel for Ferrari. And like already showing crazy differences. So we'll see. Can't get my hopes up.
You just gave me a history with Owen idea.
On what?
On how cars are developed and how early in the process, like how early in the year are the cars being developed?
Yeah.
You know, is it like literally like first race, you know, they have like a team for the current car and then they have a team for next year's car and they're already working on it and everything, but that's an idea. Look out for that.
That's a good one.
Episode.
Well, we have no race to talk about next week, so.
Oh, look at that. Perfect.
I think so. Yeah, and then because that'll be perfect for next week because next weekend we're all both so busy, so we won't have time to. It works out. The next weekend we're both so busy, there's no race, so.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, we could do that next week. We could talk about Spain, however crazy that's going to be, and then history with Owen, and maybe something else. Yeah.
Cool.
We'll figure something else out.
Look at that, everybody. There's your next week's episode.
Yeah. And then also, as I was waiting for you to be invited, I hate how I always think of weekly news as I'm speaking about weekly news. Did you see that Aston Martin's new facility opened up today? Or they like officially released pictures on Instagram? It's beautiful. It's really nice. I mean, Lawrence Stroll knows what he's doing. Lawrence Stroll's been a busy man. Aston Martin, his daughter got married. New facility.
Oh, I went to Aston Martin's main page, not their Formula One page. Aston Martin F1. That's what I'm looking for. New chapter begins. Here it is. Moving day.
Do you want me to share the screen?
I'll have to. No, it's all right. I'll read this afterwards and everything. But
the pictures are nice, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks nice. From like the few pictures I'm seeing right now, this looks nice.
Yeah, no, it looks good. Sorry, I'm adding one other thing. Not for weekly news.
What's she typing? Oh.
You can see. I just saw you click.
I know. I was looking.
Okay, I don't think there's anything else weekly news wise.
No, it was kind of a slow news week in terms of. Obviously, most of the stuff was centered around Monaco and whatnot. So
yeah, I would say between Monaco, no race last week. Yeah, okay. We'll go on to Monaco since we started talking about
Segue on
it.
over into Monaco.
Because there's a lot to talk about. There's something else let's go here first. Because that's new. Okay, so obviously Monaco's come and gone. I'll explain.
Okay. All right, interesting. Go ahead.
For anyone that's ever wondering, we have a Google Doc up and open so you can see what I'm typing as I'm typing.
Yes.
So yeah, obviously Monaco's come and gone. Qualifying, as always, I thought was going to be more exciting than the race, but the race did have some
The race had its
good
good.
highlights.
Yeah, the race had very good moments.
But yeah, obviously qualifying, it was Max pole position. I mean, that last lap, the third sector specifically, I don't know where he came from. I have that video pulled up. Do you want me to pull up that video?
The one that I was going to... So this video was really cool. It was posted on a Twitter account called Formula Addict. That's at Formula Addict, but it's just like the ending A of Formula is the beginning A of Addict, so it's just one A, it's not two. And what Casey's pulling up is this like really nice video, this like 3D overlay of Max and Alonso's qualifying laps, and you can see truly how close they are. And if it starts playing here, there you go.
Could you hear the sound?
No, I didn't hear a thing.
Okay, there you go.
But it does, you see, like, it does this really good job of, like...
so on top of it. I mean,
yeah.
Fernando did have him for a while. It's that third sector that came...
That's what I was watching. I was like, wow, by all means, in this lap, Fernando should be beating Max. Like, he absolutely should be beating him. I mean, he's got, like, a car and a half length on him at some points. Like, it's a great overlay of this, and I'm really looking forward to using this for other
I've seen this video before for other things. I think this season it's been mostly these two. Right. But like I feel like I remember seeing it last year with like Leclerc and Max during qualifying especially and stuff, but it's just third sector because he literally is going to come out of nowhere.
Yeah, you'll see him just like pop up out of nowhere. Like,
yeah, I swear I was like, oh my god, we're going to get Fernando as in pole position.
And I thought that was it for a second. Yeah, I mean this is
hard.
Great...
I need a little map in the corner. It's hard to see when. Yeah, there he goes. It's literally on a turn. Like, bye.
Yeah. And there's tons of these videos on here too. There's like tons of stuff. There's most successful nations in Formula One. There's, early battle for second place. There's a overlay for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix with Leclerc and Verstappen. Cool, really cool account. Like I said, Formula Addict. And again, that's only one A in the middle. So the ending A of Formula and the beginning A of Addict are the same.
Together.
Super cool account. Shout out to them for making that video. It's such a cool way because obviously you look at the numbers and you're looking and you're like, wow, Max found 0.3 of a second in, the final sector to overcome Fernando. But then when you look at it like this, you're like, wow, it's like he beat him by like half a car, and it's just like, it's a cool thing to really visualize. And
I think because by the time Max was doing that lap, Fernando was done. So like, or he just finished. So I was like, you thought you were getting Fernando, and then you're seeing his sector times, and I was like, Max isn't going to do it. And then all of a sudden, he pulls that purple out.
Pulls it out of his ass, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
with those
really
tires.
Just, like, it goes to show, like, I'm going to pull this directly from your note here. Like, that's a masterclass. Like,
a masterclass.
Like, him, like, driving. I don't know if there was a radio message, like, during qualifying, or I'm sure it was being communicated to him, like, what Fernando's times were. But I'm sure there was a radio message somewhere that's like, hey, you got to find like 0.3 of a second somewhere. And he did. Max is pretty much just like, okay, like, let me take this one turn and then do this other turn. And here, I found it. Like, and it's like, all right, shit.
It was, I mean, qualifying, I was at home and like mom went out. I literally was like, oh my God, I literally couldn't sit still because you had Yuki all the way up.
Yeah.
You had Ocon in P1, and then Leclerc was in P1 for literally 5 seconds, but those 5 seconds were so glorious. And then,
they were glorious. Casey was in pure bliss.
Yeah, I was. I literally was sitting there like this. I was literally like, oh! I started freaking out. And then, I mean, you heard the crowd as soon as he got pole position for that few seconds.
I'd be disappointed if you didn't hear the crowd.
Oh, yeah, I know. And then Fernando, he comes by, and then Max comes in. I was like, geez, that was literally just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I mean, that was... the qualifying session was a lot of fun to watch. The race was a lot of fun to watch. It was very good.
I mean, with qualifying, too, when you saw Perez out in, what did I text you, Q1? Because he got 20th, right?
Yes. Yeah, he was out in Q1. You said he
just crashed.
Spin? I can't remember. Did he spin or did he...
He didn't have a lot of damage, I don't think. But then you saw the report of all the stuff they changed in his car the next day. So I think the gearbox was destroyed. But, yeah, he crashed and then was obviously out. But that's when you're, like, back to that time when I didn't watch qualifying and Max got out in, like, Q1 or Q2. You're, like, everyone was probably like, Perez is out, Perez is out.
Everybody go,
like,
go. I mean, that's the same, because it's the same thing with all the Red Bulls now, or both Red Bulls now. They're so dominant that, everybody's going to jump on that opportunity. And for, I mean, Perez finished 17th, 16th, somewhere in that range.
Yeah. He didn't have, Max slapped him twice.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Perez did not have a good, for being last year's winner, Perez did not have a good race.
No, but
I mean, not to bring up F1 driver gossip, I saw a tweet. It was like a meme. Someone was like, that was for Perez's wife last year because there was rumors he like cheated on her at an after party. Like that was for Perez's wife. Oh, like people, you're ruthless. But yeah, no. And then obviously Leclerc was in P3, Ocon was P4, and then the penalty came out. It was so long trying to wait for that damn penalty decision.
Yeah,
they took so long.
They did take a while. I can't remember. What was it for?
So he was impeding on he's Leclerc. He was impeding on Lando Norris. So there's a video of him in the tunnel. And he, like, stops and doesn't get over far enough. But I will read you. This is a quote from Lando on Leclerc. Well, Lando got a lot of hate all over social media for the way he reacted. I mean, Lando Norris gets hate for literally breathing the air sometimes, I think, but I don't know why. But he literally was getting destroyed. Well, he also tweeted the gif of that meme with Max and Charles, when Charles says it was just an incident when they were, like, younger because they crashed into each other during a karting race. Have you ever seen? Yeah, so that's what...
It was just an incident.
Incident, yeah. So that's what Lando tweeted, that gif with the line at the bottom of a young Leclerc saying, it's just an incident. And then, Leclerc a few minutes later tweeted out, like, that little boy crying when he's, like, so happy. He's like, I'm fine. That's what Leclerc tweeted once the decision came out. But this was a quote from Lando on Leclerc. It says, when you listen to the team radio, they're just telling him about Verstappen's lap and giving him live updates rather than concentrating on who's behind him, which I don't really understand, but it is what it is. And then if you go to the FIA's decision, I'm going to read it all. Both drivers agreed that there was little that Leclerc could have safely done in the tunnel to avoid impeding Norris, given the difficulty envisioned due to the light entering and in the tunnel and the change of lines from one side of the tunnel to the other. In fact, the stewards observed that Leclerc reacted in a sensible way to a blue flag displayed by the marshals, but at this point it was too late. The stewards reviewed team radio, and Leclerc's team failed to give him any warning about Norris approaching until Norris was already directly behind him. Further, the discussion during the preceding portion of the track was entirely about competing drivers, not the traffic behind, which was a critical task at this track. So it came out saying it wasn't Leclerc's fault. It was it was
Ferrari again.
Damn team engineer's fault. Yes.
Yeah.
Literally his fault. People were like, you spent the money on peeling Carlos Sainz's penalty point a week later. Spend the money and appeal this decision because it's literally not Leclerc's fault.
Yeah.
But it was in the team radios. Yeah.
That's stupid. I mean, that is so...
I've never seen... I saw a video of him come out of the meeting when he got the penalty, I've never seen that kid look so upset and pissed.
I mean, that sucks. Though, if it's like the penalty's handed to you, and then at a later time,
but it's your team's fault.
They're like, "Oh, hey, sorry, yeah, like you did everything you could, like not your fault." And then it turns out that they're like, "But your team should have told you, but they were too busy telling you about other drivers when they weren't concerned with safety." Or I shouldn't say weren't concerned, but like at the time weren't focused on who's coming up behind you. When it's like, why does that happen though? As a race engineer, how do you allow that to happen? You know, how is it like, all right, I'm going to like, you need to know who's doing their flying laps and everything during qualifying so that way you can relay that information to the drivers. I mean, this is the same thing of a couple races ago.
Baku with the GPS, because all the buildings, the signal was not good. No one else was complaining about GPS problems. They literally were just not telling him Lando Norris was flying up behind him.
That's so stupid, and that sucks for Leclerc. I mean,
he literally, after you watched the race, he would have been P3. He would have been P3.
That too is like literally, that's 2 years in a row now that Ferrari engineers or strategists have kind of botched this for Leclerc. Like that is.
People are saying his name's Xavi. Yeah.
Xavi.
People are saying he needs to go next. Because he's like the reason last year the strategy effed up. I mean, Mattia Bonanno was also, I think, big decision with that. But yeah, then Xavi this year. I mean, there was literally people were making fun of his team radio during a practice because if you listen to it, they're just giving him literally the gaps and like all these times people were like, they just expected Leclerc to do math while he was driving it up.
Yeah, why does that matter to him? Why does he need to know the timings between Lando Norris and Yuki Tsunoda? You know, like
give it to him when he asks, and you know he's going to ask because he's always asking what the gap is to Max because that's where he should be, up there with Max. But yeah, that's what people were like. Why he? Yeah, I'm
sorry if I'm like running a marathon. I don't care about the gap between the two people in first and second all the way ahead of me. I care about the gap of the person right in front of me. That's just like, hey, you got 2 seconds. You need to pick up to pass this person. You know, a marathon's a pretty shitty example of that. But like, still, like, I don't care. And I know, like you're saying, Leclerc doesn't care either. Leclerc doesn't care what the gap is for, you know, Logan Sargent all the way back in P18.
Yes.
You know, like
he cares about Max and Fernando up front because he knows he should be up there with them.
Right. And his team should be communicating to him, hey, look out. Lando Norris is doing a flying lap right behind you. Like, you need to move over. You need to move over so you don't impede him, so you don't get that penalty. Like,
because you know Leclerc's a smart driver. He would have gotten over and let.
He would have gotten over
Norris
immediately
through. Yeah, no, that's people. I mean, his race engineer, whenever he asks him a question through the radio, it's like he's playing Jeopardy, but reverse. He says the question, and then we'll say question, like to end the radio message. So I'll be like, what's your favorite color? Question. Why do you say it like that?
Wait, that's how you're saying it like that?
Yes, he'll like ask Leclerc a question on the team radio, and then say question when he's ending the sentence. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what's your favorite color? Question.
I mean,
I don't know.
I get the.
I'm pretty sure he knows you're asking a question when you're the way you're saying.
That's like, all right, yeah, you're trying to end it with like clear communication of like, this is a question that I'm asking you, but yeah, like, also, what communication are you using that you're not sure is going to be like a question or not? Like
a question.
most of the times, like what you're asking your driver is like, hey, how do the tires feel? How does the car feel? You know, are you struggling a bit? Like, what's going on? Like, give me, if you're not making a question, you're giving them a full statement too. You're like, hey, tell me about the car. Like, tell me how the car feels. Tell me how the right tire feels. Like, stuff like that. Like, that's pretty stupid. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't learn things. Literally, I can tell you to not talk to Leclerc through the corners. Yeah.
Through a turn, do not talk to Leclerc. He says it every time you talk to him through a corner.
my favorite thing with him and Xavi was the one race. I might have been Baku because we mentioned that the GPSs were all kind of fucked up, but like there's literally a car drives past
Oh
him.
yeah, he's like, yes, he's already gone past.
Yeah, car drive past him. I want to say it was George Russell for some reason.
Yeah, I think it was George
Leclerc
Russell.
sees him drive past. He's all good. He got out of the way, and then you hear Xavier the radio, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, Russell's coming up," and Claire's like, "Yeah, he just passed me.
Just passed.
You have to be earlier with that. Come on."
That's when I saw a meme. It was after qualifying, and it was that picture of him from testing when he's sitting on the pit wall, and he's staring out into space, and there's nothing going on up there at the moment. And someone's like, "This is Leclerc thinking about how he has to be every single person on the team tomorrow and drive an F1 car."
Yeah, he's literally
he can't trust anyone on his side.
He's fighting against his own team right now, and it's not good.
I know I'm not a race engineer, but I think I could handle the radio message pretty good. I know not to talk to him during the corners.
This is going to be my arrogance here. How hard can it be? I mean, come on. Qualifying is you're telling them, hey, car's coming up behind you. Hey, here's the gaps.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You got all the information in front of you. You got a whole ton of screens right in front of you. Just kidding. I'm sure it's very, very hard. I'm sure it's extremely hard.
Oh, it's definitely very hard. I did see, I think it was George Russell say, I want to say George or maybe Alex Albon, that specifically during Monaco, because it's so small, the track, there's just split qualifying F2 and F3. They do 2 groups for the first session. And that makes perfect sense especially for Monaco. It's so much traffic for all 20 cars to be out there in Q1.
I don't hate that idea. That would probably get you more realistic timings of everybody, especially if you're doing 10 cars for each 2 sessions, 10 cars per session for qualifying. That'd be cool. And I think you could do, if you still wanted to keep your Q1, Q2, Q3 kind of format, you could do I don't know,
just do the top 5.
3 cars get out. Or top 5, you could do 3 cars get out in the first one, 3 cars get out in the second one, and then there's your top 4. And then
but you don't even need to split it up for all 3 sessions. I think it's just that first session, because Q2 has 10. How many cars are on track for Q2? Less than.
There'd be.
It's 15.
Yeah.
So if you split it, 10 and 10, take 2 and 3 or 3 and 3 to be even. Just go from there. But I didn't think that was a bad. I mean, the Leclerc curse hit
at all.
Leclerc curse hit his brother during F2 qualifying. He crashed. And then during the race, his brake failed. So it was exactly. They're just following suit. I was like, the poor freaking Leclerc. It's what? The prince loves him so much. They literally make Charles Leclerc stand by himself at the beginning of the national anthem. The man was dressed, which I will give a props to this in a little bit. The man was dressed as a freaking Monaco flag. What more can you do? But yes, so obviously he got a 3-place grid penalty, so he started P6, and Ocon moved up to P3. I did see someone asked Ocon after qualifying, and they're asking him about the penalty and stuff, about that he'll probably be P3, and he's like, we don't wish bad luck on anyone. He's like, so I'm not going to celebrate until it happens. I was like, Esteban Ocon, I love you.
That's the right answer.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
I agree with that.
But then, into the race next day, new day. Podium was Max, Fernando, Esteban, exactly the same as qualifying. But I added this. I want to talk about this because this is the first year since the 2000s or something that F1 produced the whole weekend. It wasn't, for the past few years, it's been run by whatever the TV company or main news source or production company in Monaco is. So that's why people always complain that the camera angles suck, or I'm sure you've seen that meme in the middle of the race, the Lance Stroll graphic thing comes up in the middle from last year.
Yes, yeah.
So it's always been a mess. So this year they really upped their game. I mean, there was helicopter views. The graphics were pretty good. There was a graphic that would measure the space between the wall and their tire if they were getting super close.
Oh,
which I thought was pretty cool. The best one that made me chuckle every time is when they were going through the tunnel and the radio was going off. The person's name with like the sound waves came up.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny.
Which, like, listen, like,
literally, when it came up for Alonso, I was like, what is that?
I get it. You're trying to make it cool. Like, you're trying to make it fun. But, like, we already have... You don't need any other graphic on the screen for a radio
when the radio
message,
pops up.
other than just the little box to the right.
Yeah.
Where it's like, Fernando Alonso radio. And then it's like, maybe it gives you subtitles, maybe it doesn't. Right. Who cares? You could put something so much cooler on that screen. And, like, you could put, like... And you're only seeing it for a couple seconds. So, like, I understand why they, like, didn't do it. Like, or that's what they did, was just put the radio message on there. But there's got to be something else that you can put on there. Because I remember seeing that, too, with Fernando flying into the tunnel. And then they show that. And I'm like, why the fuck was this radio message on the wall? Like...
I literally did a double take and I ran to Twitter. Like, I picked up my phone so fast and I literally was like, yeah, okay, that's what I saw. I was right. But yeah, I mean, that's why...
It was cool. It was, like I said, like, I'm all for, like, hey, like, throw a graphic up there. Like, I love seeing, like, live, like, stats, like, during the race. That's why I love doing the multi-viewer stuff when I can, because you get all that cool information. But, like, there's got to be something else you could put. You know, do, like...
Yeah. Or just don't put anything on that tunnel wall.
Do, like, gap to person in front. Or, like...
Yeah.
Do, like... You know, distance the person in front. Like, put a speedometer. Do something like that. That's cool.
Right. Give the speed. Yeah, not
that's cool because the tunnel is the fastest part of the track. So it's like, give me a live speed trap of when they enter the tunnel and when they hit a certain point. Like, there you go, perfect, boom. That's what I need there. Like, I don't need to see ginormous Fernando Alonso on the screen. Videos of him talking to his team. Like, I already know he's talking to his team. I can hear him talking to his team. Like,
but I know, because that's why we got extra, like, different camera angles this year. I guess they've never had access to the helmet cams this year. Did you see the video of Leclerc's helmet cam? I mean, Monaco, I think ESPN F1 tweeted it out or put it out. Monaco is made for the helmet cam. It's sick. It's so cool looking.
Oh, really?
From the inside of his helmet I think I don't know if they do the whole lap with him or just part of the lap, but it's pretty cool to watch it from that perspective.
I did see something. I don't know if it was the same thing, but you know how when you always watch the helmet cam, it's just, like, super shaky? It's like everything is just, like, bumping up and down. You're like, this is chaotic. I can't see a thing.
You're like, I know why Hamilton complained about porpoising last year.
Right. So I saw this thing on Twitter. I can't remember who posted it. I should have liked it so I could reference it. But it was this thing, and it was like, we obviously know how bumpy the helmet cams are, but if you really want to see, like, a driver's eye line, your mind will, like, correct itself as it's, like, bumping along, so it's much more stable. And they did some video editing to, like, stabilize the video of a helmet cam.
Oh, that's sick.
You can see things so much more clearly. Yeah. Like, I was watching it and I was like, wow, I can actually, like, see the track. I can see, like, what's coming up or anything, or, like, how they have, like, the yardages, or, like, I guess, like, maybe meters, actually, like, the signs for, like, the braking zones, where it's, like, 150, 100, and then 50.
You could see them.
You could actually see them, and I was like, this makes so much more sense. Like, I was like,
you were actually playing your game with the VR headset on?
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is really cool. I need to do that again. I haven't done that in a while. I thought it was cool. But yes, I liked the different camera angles we got. Obviously, I wish I could have seen them when the rain was happening. Obviously, I stopped watching, like, right before the rain, unfortunately. But yeah, I liked the coverage this weekend. It was kind of nice. I liked it.
Yeah, they said they had so many extra camera angles. I think Monaco only has, like, a certain, like, I guess, set cameras from having it year after year. But I saw this girl. I follow her on TikTok. She's really good. I think she does stuff for ESPN now, covering F1. Her name's Tony, and she was going into... You probably would actually like following her. She talks about, like, politics and the technology behind stuff in F1.
Oh, that'd be cool, yeah.
So she posted what did she post? She posted talking about the camera angles, and she's like, obviously, Monaco F1 has practice. They produce 20 shows a year. Like Monaco has one time a year. So they have this for the next 3 years. F1 TV is having that coverage. So I hope they keep it because it did work.
I liked it.
But I know something about it goes along with the TV coverage. So obviously there was actually a lot of overtakes at Monaco this year.
Yes,
I mean, Kevin Magnussen did that double overtake, and I was like, ooh, K-Mag.
I saw that, yeah.
He was like, dude. He's just like, excuse me. I saw there was only one less overtake this year than Baku.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
So this, I don't know what Twitter account I found this from, but they made this nice little graph of the past races. One bar is the total number of overtakes, and then the red is the number that have been shown on TV.
Oh.
So you see, like Miami, apparently there were 60 overtakes. Only 43 were shown on TV.
Oh, interesting.
So, yes. So in Monaco, there was a total of 22 overtakes, and they showed 12 on TV. So I'm going to share my screen again, because after that news came out, Oscar Piastri shared a video and said, this is what they missed on TV. But they totally missed this on TV, and it's sick.
Yeah, this is a really good overtake by Oscar.
So yes, this was like one they missed on TV. I forget. I think, who is that? Yuki or Nick DeVries? Probably Yuki. They finished Yuki, above. Yeah, I would say they finished ahead of him. Yeah, just right on by.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, why didn't you show that? that's pretty good.
I mean, that's a great overtake, but yeah, like said, Oscar is a very good driver, so that would have been something absolutely to see.
Yeah, but I thought that was interesting that that graphic that shows. I believe they're gonna keep updating it because they have all the cities that they've been to so far. But yeah, I also didn't realize there was that many overtakes in Miami. There was 60.
Cool. If you find that account again, let me shoot me that account.
So
that's
they
cool.
They tag F data analysis. I know I liked it. It was just easier for me to screenshot and read off of.
Right.
So I had them all in one spot. But yeah, they had a few other ones that I also saw. So this happened to be from F1 Multiviewer. So they posted. Someone asked them saying, have there been any particular instances of noteworthy team radios disappearing that make people think that they, meaning teams or F1, are intentionally redacting? So people are asking when they go back, team radios that played on the TV broadcast are no longer there. Or like if you go and listen to team radios, like little snippets on like live timing or whatever, they're no longer there. So Multiviewer said the one with Sainz, when he was like kind of angry and wanted to go after Hamilton, that's no longer there.
Oh, interesting.
If you go back, it's not there anymore. Yeah, so people are like, why? Like, why are you trying to take it away?
Yeah, why are you taking it? If it happens on live,
yeah,
keep it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. So, I thought that was interesting, but we'll move on to more. Let me bring back up my... okay, yeah, so obviously this happened in qualifying. Mercedes one was funny, Lewis Hamilton. Who crashed right before Lewis Hamilton? Was it Hulkenberg?
Oh gosh.
When the officials literally just lifted his car. K-Mag? Who crashed right before? Go back to that group chat because we were talking about it.
Oh yeah.
I think it was a Haas. Or Alex Albon. I think it was Alex Albon.
Four marshals just picked up that car like it was nothing. Why am I shocked by this? Blah, blah, blah.
We don't say what car it was, don't we?
No, it says, I was waiting for them to do the same to Hamilton, but his looks wedged in the wall. And then it's just a picture of the Red Bull car being picked up.
Who's crashed right before Hamilton? Because I tweeted like this. Something to the, because literally it was Alex Albon because he didn't come back out in FP3 until like the very end, like with 10 minutes to go, or FP2 because he crashed. It was Alex Albon. So yeah, they just lifted his car, and then Hamilton he doesn't really crash, but he like gets wedged in, so they can't pick it up. So they take the crane. I mean, that car, first of all, was like
lit. Yeah,
and rocking. Someone was like, I think it was Crofty. They're like, imagine living in those apartment buildings and just looking out and being like, oh, hello.
The funnier part would have been if Hamilton was still in the car and you're like in your apartment, you're just like,
Lewis Hamilton? He probably would. He's like an adrenaline junkie, so he probably would have stayed in the car.
He probably would have loved it.
But yes, so it hit Mercedes' floor was exposed first, and then, which I don't get. Like the floors don't look. That's just my untrained eye. The floors just look like the floors. But I guess I get it. But yes, then Red Bull, when Perez crashed, their car was the next one exposed, and that's when everyone was like, "Get your cameras out! We can get your cameras out now. Take pictures."
For like you said, it's the same thing with me. For an untrained eye, it's like because I looked at both pictures, floor. I was like, they look exactly the same. Like, what is the big deal? But I mean, F1, like, you have to be so secretive about that entire car that it's like any piece of it that gets like out to other teams or the public in general, like race engineers are going to be like, don't fucking show that.
Well, people were like, Adrian knew he was probably sitting in the corner crying because his floor was being exposed to every other team. But then, so Fred Vasseur said someone asked him about having a look at the Red Bull floor after Perez crashed. His quote, so good. We don't have to look. We have the photographs. He laughs. We have the pictures. So then someone put the meme of his face on top of Toto's from last year from Drive to Survive and his hand like this, and it says, I have it printed out. It's a picture of the Red Bull floor. Because, I mean, they do.
That's a great response, first of all. It's literally just like, oh, we don't have to look at the footage. We took the pictures. Like,
we took the pictures. Every team was probably like, we need our photographer that's out there. We need those pictures right now. I mean, to McLaren, who's getting Red Bull engineers, to Ferrari, who's getting Red Bull engineers, Aston Martin, they're all going to be like, what's that floor look like?
Yeah, it's going to come out next year. Rob Marshall's like in the McLaren garage, and he's like, okay, look at this picture now. See the piece that we did here? Like,
yeah, but that's what, like, someone for Hamilton, it didn't make sense because the session was literally over. They could have just got the like pickup truck or the tow out there and take it away. Perez was a little bit more, but yeah, I thought that was funny. But speaking of Perez, he had a disaster of a weekend. We mentioned it before. He did not
have a good weekend at all.
No. I mean, him and Max Verstappen could not have started too farther away from each other.
No.
On the starting grid. P1 and P20.
I did see an article that kind of made me upset, but like also at the same time, it kind of makes sense, where it was like with Perez's shitty weekend, like kind of seals a deal on the championship because now, like, obviously we've talked about it before, like you've had the back and the forth between Verstappen and Perez in terms of winning races and everything, but like now that Verstappen has a 2-race lead, I guess, or like a race lead on Perez in the points, it's like shit. Like, and I'm sure Perez is trying to think of a way of like, all right, I gotta catch back up to him. And I mean, the only way that you really could do it is by winning Spain. Like you
and I mean,
to get back to in the race with Max.
Yeah, and if Red Bull starts having reliability issues all of a sudden out of nowhere, like that's the only way, and like it happens to Max, and he's right back in. I mean, this kind of goes into the next point. Alonso's only 12 points from Perez for second.
That's wild.
Perez is gonna have to fight for second again.
Yeah.
In the World Drivers' Championship.
Yeah,
and Alonso's
if he gets anything worse than second next week, too, that's bad for Perez.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, he has to finish above Alonso every time.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to think if he's not finishing second, it's Alonso finishing third. You know, if he's not finishing second and Perez is finishing third, it's Alonso finishing second. You know, because there's not really anybody right now that's competing with them, like we've talked about so many times. So it's like you have to bottom line, you have to beat Alonso wherever that is in the standings.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, his qualifying was awful. His practice was awful. And then qualifying obviously was awful, and the race just didn't get any better. When they said when I saw on Twitter that Max lapped him for a second time, I was like, "Oof!" I was like,
"That had to have been real bad."
Yeah, Max was probably like driving by, probably like,
"Yeah,
you know, Max."
Yeah,
he's such an. Yeah, no, that had to suck. But yeah, moving into Aston Martin, we talked about this the other day about how Stroll is going to cost them second in the constructors championship.
He is.
I mean, Stroll retired during the race. No, compared to Fernando Alonso, he's not good at all.
I saw it. I think I saw a thing. There's so many things now that have come up that I realize I see on Twitter that are like relevant. And I should start liking and.
That's why I keep liking and screenshotting now.
Yeah. It was a thing, and it was like Lance Stroll is out there really playing bumper cars today, and it's literally just like hit like a compilation of just like all the contact he made with other drivers, with walls, with all this stuff, and it's like, God damn it, dude! Like, have
you seen the meme with the car coming out of the parking garage, the like van, and it's just like bouncing off the walls? Have you ever seen that one?
Yes.
Someone's like, this was Lance Stroll during Monaco. Because he's gonna cost them second in the constructors, and I saw someone say, like, would Aston Martin get rid of him? I don't know. Where you're gonna get rid of your nepo baby driver?
There's no way. As long as Mr. Stroll is
in charge,
owning as like that team, there's no way they're getting rid of him.
No, there's no way. But yeah, I thought it was also then interesting that Fernando Alonso is only 12 points away. I mean,
no, that is good. Honestly, at this point, I'm
rooting for Fernando Alonso.
The mental clearing of it's Max Verstappen. Now I'm interested in the battle for second. Sergio.
I mean, it was like last year. It was Perez and Leclerc. It's gonna be Perez and Alonso.
Yeah.
And give it to me. Take it all the way to Baku, or what's it called? The last race of the season. Yeah, thank you. I was like, it's not Baku.
Yeah, it's not Baku.
They're Middle Eastern country. But yes, another team that seemed to figure it out this week was McLaren.
Yeah. Just like we kind of took this a little out of order. We showed the clip of Piastri a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, they both did pretty
well.
Good. Maybe it's the deliveries. We'll find out.
We'll find out in Spain because they're gonna have it. They're having it this weekend. But I also think it's important to note. So Zach Brown was not there because he was with the McLaren boys in Indy, and the McLaren boys racing in Indy both crashed out. So maybe it's Zach Brown.
Maybe it's well, I mean, we kind of already knew this too. We
know it.
Shit on Zach Brown a lot, but I mean, no,
he's the real villain.
I would love to see. I know I will own up to it. There's episodes that we have that we're both openly just shitting on McLaren and how bad they are and everything. But I would love to see an underdog story, and I'd love to see McLaren start to figure it out a little bit. You know, get a little confidence.
I mean, they have two talented drivers, so
yeah,
they need to figure it out.
And as I said, I don't think we've ever said that Lando and Piastri are not talented drivers. You know, it's just they've kind of been dealt a shitty hand with. You know, the team and the car and everything. And if somebody wants to bring up the audio transcripts of me calling Lando or Oscar a shitty driver, I'm all ears. I will take that.
No, I don't think you ever called him a shitty driver. You just the first race of the season when his steering wheel was broken.
Yeah, when his windows
that wasn't his fault. Yeah, that wasn't his fault. But they definitely figured it out.
I would love to see, like I said, I would love to see a McLaren kind of resurgence. Specifically because of that, because I know that they're good drivers. I like them both personally.
So do I. Did you watch their post-race interview? It's like so awkward. It's what McLaren posts on Instagram. They like give them little mics and they start like this week they just started walking like through the motorhome and it was so awkward. They just both their personalities don't match very well, but they seem to be getting along. But I
think they're.
But yeah, I would be happy to see them start to perform a little bit better. But let's see if Zach Brown's going to be here this week. So.
Yeah, it would definitely be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Speaking of Indy 500, this is a little side topic. Did you see the thing with the tire for the Indy 500?
Oh my God, yes. I had it on TV because you weren't home. I was like flipping through and I saw on Twitter that like a tire just went flying into the crowd and I was like, into the crowd. But then you see it hit that person's car.
It hit a person's car and it's like, oh, well, how do they know it hit their car? Like maybe somebody in the parking lot like bumped it into it. No, you know for a fact that the tire just like, this is the car, tire just came right down on top of it. And it's like,
well,
shit.
I saw on Twitter, I don't know if it was the person's car, but someone retweeted and went, guys, how do I tell my insurance company about this?
Well, yeah.
People are like, I mean, you have the race commentary, you have the race footage of the tire just flying. Yeah.
I would have to.
But did you see?
You would absolutely have to show the video of that. But yeah, I just thought it was. I thought it was funny.
No, but did you see? Speaking of Indy, that crash, the footage from inside the car. Did you see it? It's maybe, scary.
I remember seeing the footage of the car of the tire that went flying because I remember seeing the front wheel was like really fucked up. The front left wheel was really fucked up. And I was like, oh, that's the wheel that goes flying, but it was one of the rear wheels. So you don't see anything fly off, but I didn't see like a really bad
So
crash.
I think it might be the other car because it's like two that crashed into each other. So I think it might have been the other car. I mean, they also have the halo, but their halo in front also looks to be not like it looks like a window in a car. Like it also looks like it's like a shield. So he flips and is moving, and like the guy's visor pops open and then he shuts it. But he's fully conscious in the mid, like during the crash. It's scary to watch the full footage. But then they also, we're getting off sidetracked with Indy. But I did see people then. Abu Dhabi 2021 was trending because of the way Indy ended. Oh. They did a red flag on the last lap. They restarted, and this is F1 related. Marcus Ericsson was gonna win, and then he didn't. The guy came behind him and took right over. So, but yes,
classic.
If anyone could let us know, why do Indy 500 when they win? Why do they drink milk? I just would like to know. I would not want to drink milk.
I thought that was like an American racing thing. That's it. Like there's just like history behind it.
It just looks like disgusting. I would not want to drink milk.
It's just milk. What do you like?
I know, but after sitting in a car like hot. But yes, McLaren boys didn't play with their special helmets. They both were sick. And the race suits. I also appreciate the way Lando Norris posted his special helmet. Everyone has high quality production videos and photo shoots with their helmets. What's Lando just chilling in his driver's room and that he has the race suit on and he's doing like funny selfies and that's how he posts his helmet.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I was like, I appreciate the authenticity, Lando.
You want your milk answer? So it says this is from the American Dairy Association of Indiana. All right, so this is a pretty reliable source.
Oh, because they're okay.
So it says the tradition started at the Indianapolis 500 by driver Lewis Meyer, simply requesting buttermilk to quench his thirst after the 1936 race. So the man was thirsty and he wanted milk to quench his thirst. He didn't just want milk; he wanted buttermilk. Yeah, it says. The race winner drinking milk or drenching himself in is one of the many iconic images, blah, blah, blah. It says the 24th Indy 500 held in 1936 was the first to feature the Borg-Warner Trophy as the award for the winner. Who knows what that is? Trying to look. An opportunistic marketing man in the dairy industry saw the footage of the post-race celebration, unaware that it had been in fact buttermilk that Meyer was chugging, and made inquiries into having Indy winners drink milk from there on. So some guy just asked for milk and it stuck. That's basically what it is. Summed up to a sentence. There you go.
That's a short history with that one on the Indy 500.
Short history. Sorry, I didn't have time to get my whole outfit out.
No, we went off the script on that one.
Yeah.
But yes, we kind of talked about Carlos Sainz already, but not a lot with Ferrari. Because they also kind of screwed him over. And Owen didn't call me out on my text message. I was shocked. He wanted to, but...
I was going to. I'm telling you.
It is about time.
Saw a text come through that you said something about Carlos. and I was gonna be like, I should say something about how she hates Carlos, and then like right as I was about to like unlock my phone and start typing it up, I had to like go, and I was like carrying stuff, so I was like, I gotta put my phone down. Like, yeah, I was gonna call you out on it, but
it's because they messed him up. They tried to fake out Ocon like 3 times, and they couldn't get it right. And then what does Hamilton do? Undercut him.
Yep.
It was just like karma. But yeah, I thought that was. I mean, there was nothing really. I mean, he did finish after Leclerc. I think he was P7.
Who, Sainz?
I can't remember. Yeah.
He was P8.
P8.
He finished
so he was.
He finished behind Gasly.
Yeah, P7. He was not happy. But yeah, nothing. I don't think there's really because I mean Ferrari's their mess up was what's it called during qualifying. They had a stellar double stack.
Oh yeah.
Pit stop. They still hold the fastest pit stop from Baku for the year so far. I also, when it was getting ready to rain in Monaco, that felt like the longest 20 minutes because every radio message that was popping up was like, it's going to rain in this, it's going to rain this amount of time. Yeah. The rain time is here. The rain time is here. I was like, do you think it's going to rain?
I had watched the highlights today of the race, and that was even like in the highlights. You can see it. Like, there's like 3 clips of cars like driving, and there's the audio and the engineers get on the radio and they're like, oh hey, it's gonna start raining soon, and I was like, when is it gonna start raining?
Literally, and that's when they're like, it's raining, and like it was like raining at the hairpin for a little bit but nowhere else on the track. I was like, okay, and then all of a sudden
got on the radio at one point and was like, it's raining at like turn 3 or something, or like whatever it was, and I was like, it's only raining at this one turn. I was like, that's got to be really annoying.
I think it was because they were saying that it was wet, and then they would come out and it was dry, so they would like start skidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, then it finally rained, and that was the most exciting, like 4 laps. It was chaos. I mean, that's that video I put in the little highlight reel I made of, I don't know who it is, but he like bumps right into him. I think it was Perez.
Probably.
But don't quote me. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen so many people on Twitter also rooting for rain because they just wanted something. Because at that point, Max Verstappen was at like 25-second gap, so you needed something to slow him down.
Yeah, you wanted something to make it a little bit more exciting and everything.
Yeah. But yes.
I wish I watched that live, but the highlights did a good job of covering the rain, and I got a good understanding of what was happening between everybody deciding to go on inters or stay on the regular tires, and it's just like I mean there was a thing too where it was like Max at even one point was like, I need to come in and I need to get like intermediates, like please, like and they were like, all right, yeah, like come on, like come get tires.
But he had the gap. He had a big enough gap that he went in and came back out in first, like so he knew. I think at one point it was like, it wasn't raining that hard, but I think it was Perez and like Sargent were the only ones on the wets. Everyone else was on intermediates. But yeah, I mean, no one crashed crazy. Lance Stroll DNF'd, and then K-Mag didn't finish like right at the end, I think, but it was not like any crazy. They just like pulled right off.
Right.
Like, there was no red flag, which I'm shocked. I thought there would have been a red flag, but there was not. But moving on to the surprise, he was underrated the entire weekend.
Surprise pole finisher.
Esty Bestie's on the podium. Esteban Ocon. Did you see that? Did you see the video?
I saw the picture, but was it a video? All I saw was
so it was so there's a whole story behind it. I follow this girl on TikTok. Her name's She Loves F1. She's the girl I told you about. She has like an F1 themed Airbnb in Arizona, like all this stuff. But she posts a lot of like, the drivers definitely know who she is now. She was invited to like Red Bull's car launch, all this stuff. So Esteban Ocon was doing like a question and answer on Alpine's TikTok, and someone asked him where did you get the nickname SD Bestie? And he was like, I don't know. He's like, someone created it, and I have no clue. So that girl stitched the video on TikTok and did the, it's me, hi, I'm the problem. So then, like, next thing you know, he found out who did it. So, like, next thing you know, his, like, TikTok bio said SD Bestie. Yeah, and then they interview him after the post-race interview, and that's, like, he's not on the podium all the time, so he doesn't have, like, post-race interview etiquette or whatever, but it was still great. He's literally like, SD Bestie's on the podium, baby! It was so good. So she blew up right away, because it was all her. That's what people, I mean, older guys say she's ruining the sport because she's bringing in all, like, the fangirls, and that's what someone, we follow, he's like a reporter, and was like, she loves F1, is ruining the sport for others. Meanwhile, you have a driver literally recognizing her. Yeah. But so she was like, this is going to be my whole personality now. I hope everyone's sick of me.
That's not ruined. Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
That's. No. I saw the screenshot, and it was kind of something similar where, like, somebody commented on it and was like, oh, like, I wonder, like, who let this happen or something. But I was like, oh, that's cool. He's got a nickname like Essie's Besties. Like, all right, like, whatever. I didn't realize there was this whole story behind it, too. But that's really cool.
But the fact is that, like, the question... He answered the question, like, earlier in the week, and then she responded to the TikTok, and he commented on the TikTok, like, thanks for the nickname. So, like, it literally all just happened in one week. Yeah. And then, yeah, the fact that he says that on TV. So,
that's funny.
But, yes, SD Bestie was on the podium, P3. I was happy he got driver of the day. I was like, please do not give Max Verstappen or Fernando Alonso driver of the day.
Why would he not? Like, I mean, we've had the same 4 podiums know, for weeks now, so seeing a little bit of a different person and one that you wouldn't really expect to see on the podium, that's great.
But did you see him knock over the champagne before the podium celebration started? He walks up and knocks over the champagne, and Max picks it up, and it's already starting to overflow.
That's those. I've never been on the podium before jitters.
He did win a race like years ago, I think.
Well, yeah.
I think he won
first.
Yeah, since then. But yeah, that's what. And then there's a picture of Fernando Alonso when they're like standing there taking the group photo. Fernando Alonso has his one foot on P1. People are like, "He's coming for you, Max. You better watch out."
I saw that, and I saw there was like a bunch of things on Formula Dank that were like, "This man's going crazy. Like he's coming for Max. Like all this stuff."
He's planning.
And then
he's scheming.
Alonso posted the picture on his Instagram story, I think, with the like purple devil horns emoji. Somebody took a screenshot of it, posted it in Formula Dank, and he was like, "Fernando Alonso absolutely scrolls this sub, is absolutely in here and sees all of us just like calling him out for this."
Yes, whoever is running his social media deserves every award because they're freaking killing it, killing it. Well, did you see they continued? We really got sidetracked off of Esteban Ocon. Sorry, Esteban. Sorry. I wanted to go back to him. I will. I have another point. Did you see the video last week of him smelling the flowers?
Yes.
Or from 2 weeks ago. So they posted on TikTok.
I know where this is going to. Yep.
They posted on TikTok to flowers by Miley Cyrus, and he's watering the flowers around the watering.
Yep.
I was like,
whatever. Kind of just going off what you said. His social media team has such a good feeling on the pulse of social media right now are surrounding Fernando Alonso and are just like, hey, the internet thinks that you really love flowers right now. This is what we're doing. We're going to have a video of you watering flowers.
And the flowers.
To the song called Flowers by Miley Cyrus. And it's like, this is going to kill. And like, people just love it. People are eating the shit up.
It's decisions with him right now worked out. I think his move to Aston Martin is working out for him, and his social media team working out for him.
Fantastic, yeah.
But yes, back to Esteban Ocon. Did you see? So obviously Tom Holland was there, invited by Red Bull, and then asked who he was supporting. He says Lewis Hamilton, always Lewis Hamilton.
Fellow Brits supporting each other.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
So there's a video that came out. He was talking to Esteban before the race, so people were like, Tom Holland gave him the good luck. But I mean, you've seen he's done special helmets before in the past with like Spider-Man. Last year for the Secret Santa, he got like a Spider-Man comic book. So I was like, and then there was a selfie with him and Tom Holland later, like after the race, and I was like, he was freaking out.
Yeah, he's geeking out about it.
He's geeking. Yeah, I mean, he'd probably be like, "You." Yeah. I was like, you just know. Yeah, but that's my knock on. He deserved driver of the day. He was my driver of the day. That was pretty much it.
That's a good. That's a lot. That's a lot. A lot happened at Monaco.
A lot did happen in Monaco. Compared to the last few weeks, we've had literally the most boring races in the world. Yeah. So I'll take it. But yes, moving on to Spain predictions. Let me pull up. So obviously, it's the Spanish Grand Prix. Home race of Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz. Everyone knows I love Carlos Sainz. Schedule for the weekend. June 2nd, practice. It's all the same times as last week. June 2nd, practice 1, 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Practice 2, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. June 3rd, practice 3, 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Qualifying 10 to 11 a.m. And then the race is at 9 a.m. on June 4th. It's 66 laps with 14 turns. So 2 DRS zones. And this year's track is different because they took the chicane out of between 14 and 13. So that's now a straight. I don't know the weather yet. I'm going to wait. It's just almost 3 miles long. It's 2.89 miles long. And because the track's different, there's no lap record. The website says nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
But the past 2 winners last year was Max, and then the year before was Lewis. But yes. But yeah, they took out the chicane. Where
I saw why it sounds like, are you looking for something?
Yeah, because I have some stuff about people bringing upgrades, so I want to do that before we made our predictions.
I saw a thing again from Formula Dank. This is honestly just where I get all my F1 news. That it was Fernando Alonso is the only person who has driven the Spain track with this configuration. With no chicane. So he might have that like built-in muscle memory of like,
oh my god,
he knows where he can like send it and not send it and stuff like that. Obviously it's one chicane that got removed, so like the track is pretty much identical for that one small part, but who knows, that one small part might come in handy.
I was looking at, I read Mark's article today about the storylines for the week, and obviously Fernando's the biggest one, but I don't think he put that in there. Interesting.
Yeah,
good to know. But obviously
I knew something
prediction.
Mark didn't. Well, I won't go that far. Sorry, Mark, if you're listening to this. Sorry. Not that you didn't know. You just didn't put it in your article.
Call you out.
I'm gonna get ridiculed for that one now.
Yeah, you are. What's it called? So, there's upgrades coming. Ferrari is bringing a major upgrade package to Barcelona, but no new front suspension. So the SF23 will have a completely revised floor and visible changes to the bodywork. Ferrari aims to get not only more downforce, but also more consistency in the car. So obviously but then I saw notes after this past weekend, that the technical team is hanging on by a thread. Their confidence is hanging on by a thread. And if anything goes wrong this weekend, I think the morale of the team is going to be literally in the dumps, like in the dirt, buried.
That does not surprise me if they are down in the dumps like that.
There was a post-race interview with Leclerc, and even his words, I was like, oh my god, he's lost hope. I was like, and that's the one man that was never going to lose hope. But he's like, this season's over. We're not going to do anything. I mean, Monaco was their best chance at getting pole and winning the whole thing, but it didn't work out. And then Red Bull apparently will complete upgrades ahead of the Spanish Grand Prix this weekend. Helmut Marko is quoted saying, "We're going to try something new in Barcelona." I'm sorry, what else do you need new?
Great.
They literally posted...
I don't want to watch Red Bull anymore, but now I have a reason to watch Red Bull again this weekend.
Yeah, so wait, the Twitter account that I was talking about earlier, the one with the graphic I was talking about earlier, we follow them. It's anything F1 _. They're the ones that tweeted this up. Yes.
Got it.
But with that news, they tweeted the gif of Michael Scott with the "everybody stay calm," because what else do they need to bring?
Yeah. I mean, it's two ways this could go, right? It's either going to go in Red Bull fashion for the rest of the season. It's going to make the car faster. It's going to make them more dominant. They're going to be perfect in every sense and win, which is what we're used to. Or it's going to go the route that all the other teams have been taking so far with their upgrades, and it's going to break something. And
I hope it breaks something.
Who knows what might happen? I have a feeling that it's going to go Red Bull's way and just be perfect and work and everything's hunky-dory and we're good to go, but who knows?
I feel like Aston Martin's bringing more too because there was no Imola. Obviously, no one was bringing upgrades to Monaco. Like, why would you bring upgrades to Monaco? Yeah. So I feel like Aston Martin might be. But yeah, they're the ones I can see with upgrades right now. So, oh my God, I didn't give a moment to praise the white and red race suit for Ferrari, for Charles Leclerc.
Oh, that's...
Well, because Carlos has a special one this week. They already released it. People say he looks like a McDonald's worker.
That is hilarious.
I mean, Charles Leclerc's literally was... I was obsessed. It was beautiful.
Isn't Spain's flag primarily red and yellow?
Yes, but there's like black in there too. Like at one point, it's like... It looks like there's an apron. It looks like there's an apron at one point on the... Hold on. I'm going to their Twitter. I'm going to share the screen.
Oh, they already put it out?
Yes. For some reason, they didn't do that for Leclerc.
Well, remember,
I think Carlos.
They hate Leclerc just like you hate Sainz.
They should not hate Leclerc. That's all I have to say. That man is their Lord and Savior. Okay, this is all you can see at the moment. Share screen. Twitter.
Share that screen. Share that screen. Oh, that doesn't look bad.
Yeah, but no, if you look at can you see the black? People are saying it looks like an apron.
I could definitely see how that, yes, I can definitely see that, but...
Yeah. He's wearing special shoes.
I was thinking a lot more, like, yellow involved. That, to me, looks more like the Flash than it does a McDonald's worker. You got
it looks like their normal...
With, like, the yellow highlights, yeah.
If anything, it looks like their normal suit, just a little different. I mean, Leclerc's was a far cry from the normal suit, but obviously his colors are. But yeah, I was so close to buying that special hat. I'm still that close to buying the special hat. It was so nice. It was so nice. But yes, so I don't know if there's anything else.
No, we got to do our predictions.
I know, but I didn't know if there was any other. No. Okay, so yeah.
I didn't hear any other upgrades.
I didn't either.
Okay.
Quality predictions.
You
can go. Yeah, you can go. We're gonna be the same this week.
Verstappen, Alonso, Perez.
Oh, okay. We're not gonna be the same. This is quali, right? Is that your quali? Or
that's my quali.
Everything.
That's my quali.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah. Verstappen, Alonso, Perez.
I'm gonna go Alonso, Verstappen, Leclerc.
Oh.
Because Leclerc, remember last year, Leclerc pulled out that pole lap last year. Like, he cleared Verstappen of like 5/10. And the only reason Verstappen won is because he had to retire Leclerc during this GP last year. So,
that's right.
Yeah. Alonso, Verstappen, Perez. I mean, Leclerc.
Alonso,
okay, race.
Verstappen, Leclerc. Okay. Verstappen, Alonso, Leclerc.
Oh!
That's what I'm going with.
Okay. Yeah, I'm keeping my quality for the race. I think Fernando Alonso could maybe do it. In his hometown race, I think he's going for that 33rd win.
That'd be nice.
I think he's going it. Yeah.
That'd be really nice if he could do it, especially, like you said, hometown race.
Mm-hmm. He's finally in a car that's capable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see it.
I think it'll be interesting.
I'm thinking driver of the day. You don't have to pick one. I was just thinking.
Oh, no. Okay. I have one. It's kind of a stretch, but I have one.
Lando Norris.
Oh, we're going for the same team. I'm going to say Oscar Piastri.
Oh, I was going to pick him too.
I think the confidence after finishing Monaco, I think they have some upgrades. I'm pretty sure that's coming. So,
yeah.
The livery, we get it special one more week. Yeah, I think.
I like it. Zach Brown, stay away.
Stay away.
Stay away.
I mean, if all else fails.
If he comes back, right, and they do horribly.
And they crash. He can never be allowed back.
Do, like, the board of, like, McLaren, like, say to him, like, hey, you can still be on this team, but you got to pull, like, a Brad Pitt, like, Moneyball situation where, like, you can't be at the games, you know? Like,
yeah, or, like,
Brad
what's
Pitt
this?
doesn't watch those games in the movies, so, like, Zach Brown, you can't be here, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no. If he comes back and they both, like, DNF, yeah, he's not allowed back.
Yeah.
He's not allowed. But yeah, okay, cool.
Cool.
Oh, I know it would. I'm not doing it. I was going to talk about how it was drivers' doppelgangers were at Monaco between Noah Schnapp and Tom Holland, but
yes, yeah, a lot of celebrities at the Monaco race too. But
I was saying the Cannes Film Festival is like down the street, so they all just take the boat up. But yes, so that was it. I think. You want to do the ending? You want to close it out?
Ending. Yeah. I can't think of anything else. You got anything else?
No. Mm-mm.
All right.
Let's hope Fernando wins it all.
Fernando. All right. Well, cool. Thank you for listening to this episode of the F1 Underground podcast. If you enjoyed this episode or our other episodes, please give us a follow at Underground F1 on Instagram and at Underground_F1 on Twitter. If you're watching in the video format, you saw on the banner below, it had the social handles there too. Free of any mistakes as well. So you get the good
I was
mistake-free version of our social handles.
Yes.
If you have any questions for us, you want us to talk about anything on the podcast, please shoot us an email at the undergroundf1pod@gmail.com. Again, that's undergroundf1pod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from anybody who listens to the show, anything you guys want us to talk about. I will happily take any topics for History with Owen.
Absolutely.
So please shoot us an email if you're interested. Please also leave us a review on the show wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Really helps the show grow, reach new people. Kind of like all the other shows on our network and everything. We're trying to take this thing as high as we can. So speaking of our other shows and network, please give us a follow on our main YouTube page for the Underground Network. It's at Underground Sports Philadelphia. All caps for the main words. As of this recording right now, we currently sit at 508 followers and are hoping to reach 600 by the end of June. We beat our goal of 500 followers or 500 subscribers actually by Memorial Day weekend. I think we were 3 or 4 days ahead. So that
really cool. I think Kyle went live last week after we recorded.
Yeah,
and they got to 500.
So that was really cool to see. And you get all video format shows, all full video format episodes of our other shows on that network. Mm-hmm. They're all great times to watch and everything. And if you have any interest in anything, Philadelphia sports, college lacrosse, golf, all that stuff, you get all of our shows there. So please go give that page a follow. And we will tune in next week following Spain. See you later.
Yeah, and History with Owen. So
History with Owen.
See you next week.